Any farmer who is just starting out or who wants to increase his or her level of self-sufficiency should consider learning how to grow pigs for meat. The satisfaction of turning a living thing into a sustainable food supply is brought about by livestock farming. But selecting the breed and customizing the treatment requires some expertise. Hi, my name is Eric and you are welcome to Adams Farm Foods. In today's video, I'll be providing you 12 pointers in this video on how to raise pigs for meat. Even though I am interested in many other kinds of animal farming, pig farming is my favorite. Pigs, in my opinion, are among the simpler animals for a beginning farmer to raise. They are more resilient and can typically fend off numerous diseases. Pig farming has a less challenging learning curve than many other types of livestock farming. They reach maturity far more quickly than a beef cow and produce a lot more meat and lard than chickens or rabbits, although pulled pork, freshly made bacon, home-rubbed lard, and salt-cured hams are simply delicious. This is why I love raising pigs for meat and profit. As mentioned above already, there are other animals you can start with before starting a pig farm, but if you take a good advice from myself and other successful pig farmers, I think you should be able to start a successful pig farm and make a healthy profit. Perhaps you've considered raising a pig, or two, but you're not sure where to begin. I hope the following advice will be helpful to you as you set out to raise your own tasty pig. 1. Buy piglets. It is simpler to purchase piglets than to raise your own breeding stock if you only want to raise a few pigs for meat each year. Piglets are priced differently depending on region and the season. They are more expensive in the spring when farmers start thinking about bringing in fresh breeding stock. However, in Ghana, we are highly favored when it comes to the weather and therefore can breed pigs all year round. Piglets can be purchased throughout the year and the prices of them are generally the same throughout the year. Two. Age matters. 6 weeks of age is the industry norm for selling young piglets. Although we found that piglets given an extra 2 weeks with the sow have a better immune system and do not require starter feed, we still sell our piglets at 8 weeks of age. Naturally, we must feed the sow more to maintain her fitness, but we believe that healthier piglets are worth it. Finding piglets who have been given a little more time to nurse is worth the extra money because you'll save on the piglet's potential health problems as well as your feed costs. Three. Space considerations. Piglets require a pen and some type of shelter before you can bring them home. There are a few things to keep in mind when designing your pen, and I'll talk more about fencing in a moment. Piglets will develop more quickly in a small pen since there will be less space for them to exercise and because the earth can get seriously damaged. Additionally, parasites have a better probability of developing in a limited space. And last, a small pen in a wet spring can turn into a sizable mud puddle. However, this does not imply that you must have room to pasture or free-range your pigs, as Pork Rind clarifies in the audio interview. Even if you don't have the best facilities for the pig's living surroundings, raising your own pigs is a considerable improvement over purchasing pork products that were raised commercially. In order to prepare our garden spaces for planting in the spring, we actually put pigs on them during the winter so they can till them up and fertilize them. We prefer to utilize rotating areas in the warmer months and fairly huge areas closer to the home in the colder months. Four. Fencing. Piglets should be kept in a cattle panel, hog panel, or pallet enclosure when they are young. I can speak from much experience and from having had a piglet escape and spend 2 weeks in the nearby woods of our property that electric netting, string, or wire don't work well with small piglets since they can get out. Up until they are 12 to 15 weeks old, we keep piglets in a tiny cattle panel pen with electric wire on the floor. After that, we move them into enclosures constructed of electric string or wire until they reach butchering weight. By 12 to 15 weeks, they are typically used to the electric and big enough to avoid trouble when passing through it. However, it's beneficial to have a manual gate or exit. When we wish to shift pigs, they won't go near an area where there used to be electric fence since they can be so well trained to it. Feeding pigs. There are numerous options for feeding your pig. The simplest option is to buy an industrial hog grower. On this kind of ration, pigs develop the fastest. Sadly, the majority of commercial hog growth formulas contain maize and soy, both of which are probably GMO. Many commercial meals also include drugs, which your specific animal may or may not need. Another choice is to produce your own feed from a grain and protein source or locate a natural pre-made feed in your area, as we don't enjoy giving medication to our animals unnecessarily. What Pork Rind has to say about feeding pigs is as follows. There is a lot of debate over what to feed your pigs, from buying the best organic, non-GMO feed to giving them day-old bread from your neighborhood bakery. There are a ton of newbie pig farmers out there who have no idea what a healthy pig looks like. In order to understand and become familiar with how much pigs should eat, how their appetites change depending on the seasons, and what a healthy pig looks like, he advises spending time with someone else who raises pigs. Demand versus measured feeding. Whether to set up a self-feeder and let the pigs eat whenever they please or give them a specific amount each day is another decision to be made while rearing pigs. Both have advantages and disadvantages. The daily workload is reduced by demand feeding, with the exception of the day you have to fill the pig feeder. Additionally, your ground will keep in better condition if the pigs have access to eat constantly. Demand-fed pigs also grow more quickly, reducing the time it takes you to reach maturity. Demand feeding has the drawback that pigs can consume a lot of food, which can be expensive, especially as the pigs age. We have discovered that demand feeding is the best option if you are simply rearing 1 or 2 pigs. It might become prohibitively expensive when you are parenting 10 or more children. Every day, we give each of our piglets 5 pounds of their grain mix. They also receive milk, leftover food from the table, and produce. As a result, we can have pigs that are ready for the market at about 8 months. Some text goes here. Chemical dewormers don't sit well with me because of the mutations and resistances they breed. On our farm, we've discovered that garlic works far better as a dewormer. 1 ton of feed receives about 1 pound of garlic granules added. Oregano oil also works wonders against infections and parasites. We also keep tea tree oil on hand for cuts and scrapes and geranium essential oil on hand for bleeding. Pigs can get into fights. Pig castration is a contentious topic. Many people consider the treatment to be harsh and pointless, but others maintain that it is important to stop boar taint. You must decide whether you want to have this treatment done if you are rearing 2 male pigs. However, it is advisable to castrate piglets of the opposite sex when you are growing them. We were informed when we first began raising piglets that they wouldn't begin to reproduce until they were 9 months old. Since we butcher at 8 months, we didn't believe castration was necessary. Bad advice led to market pigs that were pregnant. All male piglets reared for meat are now castrated. Pigs come in a variety of breeds, each with unique characteristics such as size, meat quality, and temperament. When selecting your piglets before taking them home, you should look for these points. We raise heritage pig breeds such as the Gloucester Old Spot, American Guinea Hog, and Tamworth because to their calm, amiable personalities, and superior meat quality. Although the American Guinea Hog is a significantly smaller breed of pig and will not produce a conventional carcass weight, we are ready to make the trade-off for its easy handling and high-quality pork. Pork Rhine reared some hybrids and commercial pigs in addition to heritage breeds including large blacks and red wobble. Pigs weren't fed the same nutrition they are now 200 years ago. Similar to chickens, they were low-input animals that were fed leftovers from the kitchen or garden, allowed to roam freely and ruminate, etc. Pigs were the fail-safe for many years. Families would always have pigs to sell in order to make ends meet if a crop had a poor harvest one year. The majority of heritage pigs are killed between 180 and 250 pounds live weight. A hanging weight of between 160 and 225 pounds will result from this flesh and bones minus the head, feet, and organs. The types of cuts you select during processing will have a significant impact on the amount of meat you finish up with in your freezer. It's critical to realize that heritage breed pigs grow more slowly than industrial pigs. Typically, it takes a heritage breed 8 months to reach 280 pounds. It can take the lard pigs up to a year or a year and a half to achieve butchering weight, which occasionally won't be as heavy depending on the breed. Commercial hogs, meanwhile, grow to 280 to 300 pounds in just 6 months. So you may understand why big farms have started to favor commercial hogs more. Before selecting a breed, be aware of your goals for raising pork. Other breeds will offer you your hams, pork chops, and huge roasts, whilst many breeds are far better for things like bratwursts, sausage, charcuterie, etc. Some text goes here. On our farm, we've butchered a lot of pigs. The first time can be a little daunting, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that difficult. The entire procedure lasts roughly 3 days. The killing and hanging take place on the first day, followed by the skinning and slicing on the second, and typically the banger making on the third. A drawback of doing your own butchering is that you won't get bacon or gammon unless you know how to cure them. Instead, you'll get fresh gammon, which is excellent but not like conventional cured gammon. Self-butchery has the advantages of knowledge and cost reductions. Owning your own pigs gives you control over what they consume, resulting in better pig meat for your family. Additionally, it's a lot of fun to raise pigs, and I enjoy seeing their antics. The taste, in my opinion, is the best justification for farming pork. You won't want pork from the grocery again after giving it a try. Thank you for watching my videos. Comment below. Like and subscribe to the channel. Share the videos with friends and family. And I will see you in my next video.